Guys, as the pieces of this story, this story unfolds, I can't do nothing but laugh because I'm trying to imagine myself being an investigator and trying to dig through the layers of what I'm actually looking at. Uh, and to be an investigator, you gotta sometimes look past surface level things, like what may seem to be may totally be not. You understand what I'm saying? And man, I think that's the most challenging part of being an investigator. Even if you're not officially an investigator, even if you're just somebody that's just, interested in uh, meanings of things and people, places, and things, and you trying to, when you realize nothing is surface level, everything's like beneath the surface. What usually is on the surface might not even be real. Now, what's crazy about the whole gay community? I told you guys that probably half of them motherfuckers not even gay. They're just you have people out here that just have to be part of a group, and it's hard to believe when you know, man, when things are brought out to the light, man. Wow, you know what I mean? Like when you really get to introspection of things, and it's funny because I don't even get paid for this shit, man. I'm looking at things on a deeper level like this. You know what I mean? I didn't go to school for this shit. This is just naturally who I am. Uh, Am I strange? Yeah, I'm strange because when you judge a cat like me, man, you can't be looking on surface level things. I mean, just the way I think, I don't even think like these people out here. Now, the whole thing with this case is crazy to me because I see how this individual was fabricating things as if we were really together. Okay, and I told you guys I've never been gay. I never will be gay. I never had a dream about being gay. Yet, if you looked at any type of surface level thing, here I was, a damn near 40-year-old man living in a 3-bedroom apartment in New York with another man, and I don't have no children. Of course, if somebody can say, "Hey, that guy, yeah, he's gay," and then the fact that I'm a fucking earth angel and I got this certain kind of personality, somebody can easily. I mean, even if somebody told me, I would probably think it's surface level until I look, a little deeper. Now that shit I probably have to get paid for to do. Because if I seen a 40-year-old man living with another man, that's what I would think. But my story was when I came from Cambodia, I came to New York to roommate with an individual that I met online. From talking about, you know, uh, who was this? He was talking about, you know, uh, what was the subject matter? When I met this individual online, the subject matter was basically like, he was trying to pretend like to be Hebrew Israelite, right? The same bullshit my family came with them being Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay. Neither sect that I co-signed with. So that tell you right there. If anybody looking deeper, okay, I never co-signed with any of those sects, right? So that will force you to look a little deeper. Okay, what was really going on? He's not what his family is religiously, and he's never claimed to be what this individual he met online. Okay, now you can start to dig deeper. Hold on for a minute, y'all. This goddamn man. 1 second. Yeah, now you can start to look a little deeper to figure out what exactly is going on here. But surface level, it looks like I could be a gay 40-year-old man living with another man. Oh my God, guys, that's so far from the truth. But it is funny though. It's laughable because it just goes to show you how things can look and totally not be. But again, meeting this individual online and talking about the things we used to talk. I mean, we used to get into a lot of things. We used to be on live chats with other people, just cracking jokes. This individual did a good job of pretending like he was just like his fellow man, and which I'm sure everybody involved in this case had some kind of skill with that. I'm pretty sure when you in these covenants, that's probably one of the first things they teach you is how to blend in, pure unassuming. Agree with the target, right? Always agree with the target or some shit like that. That's probably in their rule books. What else? But yeah, I didn't even know I was gonna go live with this guy until I came back from Cambodia, and I had a choice between living with a family member in Vegas, a place that I had just moved from, right, going to Cambodia, or was I gonna go back to New York. But the individual family member in Vegas had did something strange. Uh, this female, she had did something strange. Y'all can use your imagination, but she had did something strange that I thought was strange, and that's why I decided not to go there. I said, well, I'm gonna move my buddy here I met online, who I hadn't discovered anything too crazy to not go roommate with him for in my mind was going to be a few months. Didn't never knew it was going to be 2 years. Got there, got hired as a bartender. Was like, oh, I'm finna be out of here in 4 or 5 months once I save this money, or either I'm going to get my own apartment in New York. I didn't know what was going on, because when I got in New York, when I got off the plane, there were wheelchairs lined up around the corner because they were preparing for the lockdown. Everything was strange. When I came back from, nothing was normal when I got back from Cambodia. Absolutely nothing. And I didn't even know I was going to be catching a plane trip to New York until the latter days of my stay in Cambodia, which was a 6-month period. I didn't even know where I was going until about the 5th month I was in Cambodia. Okay? Didn't know I was going to be going to live with this individual, even though me and him had been communicating for the past, I don't even know, maybe 2.5 years or something like that, before I even left to Cambodia. See? That was a last move ditch effort that I had to do when I came back to the States. And then, like I said, when I got that bartending job, I remember I had got the job. I'll never forget, I had got the job. Being at the interview, them asking me how to make a Cosmo and all this junk. Next thing I know, lockdown. And then I already told y'all the rest of the story. Next thing I know, I'm on a bike in New York City, and all kind of inclement guys. I'm telling y'all, man. When I think about what the fuck happened to me when I got out, ever since I got out that plane, I've been in a military zone ever since I got out that plane in Cambodia, man. Basically, my life. Wondering when I'm gonna find rest and comfort. Basically, that's how it's been. When I got out that plane in Cambodia, nothing has been ever the same since. So you can imagine, where I'm kind of at in my mind. It's not just what I could be going through or not going through. It's when I got off that plane, the lockdown happened. Then I was on that bike in New York City. It was cold. I was getting bikes stolen. It was most likely it was gang stalking me in New York, stealing my bike, stealing my. I mean, guys, can you imagine? Can you imagine? I have every reason. Matter of fact, the average man. I'm gonna keep saying it. Fuck it. The average man would have lost his mind based on what I've been through in the past 4 or 5 years. The average man would have lost his goddamn mind. Okay? Because I had all types of shit being thrown at me. Okay? It would have took a really strong motherfucker to deal with. Look, guys, I'm not just somebody on here trying to say, hey, look at me, I'm tough. Trust me. Please trust me when I tell you that. Okay? I'm not the type of person to say, oh, look at me, everybody. I'm telling you the truth. The average man out here. That makes me wonder, wow, who am I really, It got me looking in the mirror at myself sometimes, like, who am I really? Who are they really? You know what I mean? That type of stuff. Who are they? Who am I? Well, I'm finding out, ain't we? Because I don't know where I get this toughness from, because guess what? I didn't learn it from the individual I grew up with, because individuals I grew up around kept trying to get me in line and do what everybody else was doing. I ain't never done what anybody else was doing. And then whenever I ran into problems or struggles, they'll say, see, yeah, you're going through that because you're not doing whatever. Guys, do you understand the mental torture, even behind the physical? Man, I deserve every fucking thing coming. Bottom line, I deserve all of it. Yup. And the girl too. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ain't gonna be no imposter syndrome. Well, maybe a little bit, but I know I deserve it deep down. God, man, I went through some hell. I've been through hell, for real. But yeah, just getting back to that situation. Wow. I mean, I'm glad that somebody actually was able to look deeper into this situation, man. Because this thing could have got out of control. But nah, just because you see a 40-year-old man living with another 40-year-old man, that don't mean that they gay. You don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what the hell was going on. I was there to pay rent and get the fuck out of there. I didn't know I was going to end up staying there 2 years and being gang stalked and being caught up in some crazy conspiracy that had nothing to do with me. Crazy shit, yo. But anyway, I gotta get out of here. I'll holler at y'all later.